Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 2 of Raging Reveals, where every single day we're going to be going through all of the new announcements for Leagues 5 as we count up to the launch day on November 27th. Yesterday, we saw all of the Tier 1 relics, but today we have something new, so let's go ahead and take a look. You'll be able to enhance your alchemy spells. This will give you 15% more gold and a 65% chance to not consume the item, and in addition, you'll be able to purchase from shops. Noted. Now, so far this doesn't look all that exciting, but we got a little bit more of the video, so let's keep watching. In addition, your alchemy spell will actually automatically recast over time, and you'll be able to sacrifice coins to get prayer experience, which does work with modifiers such as the altar in the wilderness. So we have Golden God, a new relic that's coming to Leagues 5. It will basically buff your alchemy spells, give you more coins, allow you to buy items noted, which is a very powerful, I think it's a really nice perk. And most importantly, not only will you get a lot of coins, but this also will allow you to exchange for a decent amount of prayer experience as well. So I had that midpoint kind of talking about how underwhelming the relic is, because when I first saw it, I was like, okay, yeah, this thing is pretty trash. Like, do I really care about just empowering my alchemy spell? Like, is that really that good? But, I think that a really cool thing that Fire Sale did in Leagues 4 was that it solved early money making for a lot of people. And now some people enjoy the process of making money and kind of building up that capital. And by the late game, you have so much cash you don't even know what to do with. But I think the Fire Sale kind of gave people a head start and allowed them to make a lot of coins. And I really actually kind of like this as a kind of like a pseudo replacement for Fire Sale. Obviously, we don't know what this would be competing against, but this is going to kind of take that place of a very easy option to get you a lot of coins in the early game. Remember that this is giving you 15% more gold, but a 65% chance to not consume that item. So you will be effectively making I think 3 times the amount, or a pretty insane amount, just off constantly alching. And you won't even really have to alch it on your own, as it's going to be automatically recast just over time while you're doing other things. Gold aside, this also has a really cool perk of not only enhancing your prayer, because you'll be able to sacrifice coins for prayer by, mid to late game. You should have so much money off this that you're kind of able to just get all the prayer you want, just like Fire Sale kind of allowed you to get your construction really very, very quickly. But it also actually gives you an incredible source of magic experience. Casting high alchemy as you do everything else has been sort of a standard for a lot of these seasonal modes to train your magic. And I think that we don't know what the combat styles are, but let's say you're not specializing in magic. This could actually be a really cool way of getting your magic up without really having to go through that hassle of constantly alching and alching and alching. Because, let's be real, does anybody really enjoy alching a stack of 1,000 darts or whatever? That's just, oh god, it takes forever, right? And we do have all of the information regarding this spell. It will buff both high alchemy and low alchemy, so you will get the advantage of this fairly early on. And this is the kind of relic that I expect around tier 2 or tier 3 at the latest. It really is a very early game relic. First off, no rune cost, no level requirement for alchemy, so you won't even need the magic level 4. You'll be able to do it right at level 1 magic, which is amazing that you can literally bypass training your magic from 1 to 50 mil for your task. That is a lot if you aren't able to kind of specialize in magic and get that. Remember that this year there's a very good chance that I think the power of something like Soul Wars is going to go down. I don't think that that's going to be the meta for Leagues 5. So I think that being able to train your combat styles for stuff that you're not specializing in, if we do have combat styles, is actually a pretty big perk, especially since this also does train prayer. In addition, that gold, 15% more gold doesn't really sound like a lot, kind of irrelevant, but the 65% chance to not be consumed is pretty strong. Now, I'm sure somebody will find out the exact math behind, 15% more gold, 65% chance to not be consumed. But as far as I know right now, because you have a 60, high alch is 60% of the price, this essentially means that anything you buy will give you infinite money, basically. So any item that you buy and you note will eventually, as you alch it, will give you more money than you bought it for. You just have to eventually alch enough of it. So this essentially means you have infinite money alching anything. As long as you just keep alching, you will get infinite money. That's what I would think about this relic. You have all the money you want, kind of similar to how Fire Sale worked, where that solves any money issues that you might have. Now, I did see here that says the spell will automatically be recast over time. So again, you're not going to have to manually do that process on your own. It's just going to keep recasting. I don't know if this recasts like at the normal rate of high alchemy or if there's a slight delay to it. But either way, I mean, this is kind of the thing where you hit it and you forget about it for like an hour, 2 hours, and then you make like a stack of a couple million, and you just start the process again. And that whole time you're racking up mage experience. And then this bonus to prayer is that 20,000 coins can be offered in exchange for the prayer experience equivalent to a dragon bone. So you might think, okay, 20,000 coins for a dragon bone, that's absolutely insane, bizarro, like that sucks. But you have to realize you essentially have infinite coins with this. So this also means that you have infinite dragon bones, right? You have all the dragon bones, all the prayer you could want, and this will make your prayer experience pretty damn fast. So obviously, this is really good if you're going for the wilderness, as you can go at the wilderness altar and get the bonus experience there. The chance to save, I don't even know if that works, but even if it does, that's not really that important for coins. However, this also means that if you have a player-owned house altar, you'll be able to get the benefits there. So Fremenic is getting a little bit more valuable with this relic because you'll be able to go to the stonemason shop. And if you didn't know, there's also a new stonemason shop in Varlamore as well. So you'll be able to make the gilded altar and get that 350% bonus with the 2 burners lit. And even if you don't have those 2 regions, you can still build up to a mahogany altar and get 250% with both the burners going. So you're still making a lot of prayer experience and sort of solving your prayer for free. Now, personally, I don't think magic and prayer are like the most difficult skills to solve. And gold is also something that kind of, you kind of solve it over time. But again, just like how Fire Sale helped the early game, I think that this is a really cool new way of doing that where you're benefiting not just the early game, but also magic and also prayer. 3 skills that are all pretty easy to train by the time you're kind of midway in your league's journey, but definitely help to get those going as fast as possible. Especially, I think getting your magic up in the early game is it's pretty nice. It's pretty beneficial, and not having to constantly high alch is a pretty big plus. Now, I think some of you might be a little bit underwhelmed. You might think Fire Sale is cooler because you could just buy whatever you want. But I also want to remind you that with enough time of using this, you will collect such a massive cash stack because you're making, more money from the things that you buy, that eventually you will have so much money that, you'll kind of be able to buy whatever you want in due time. Maybe you won't be able to get, 99 construction in like the first couple of hours, but in a couple days, a week or 2 of just constantly alching whatever you have and then buying more items, you'll have all the money you could possibly want, and it will be pretty insane. You'll have those same kind of crazy money, or like those crazy strats that are kind of well out of the reach of most people. Those will kind of open to you, which includes a lot of the tasks that typically require large amounts of money, such as buying the Crystal Crown and Tyrannwyn, buying runes to get your Onyx items, things like that just kind of require large capital before you're actually able to take advantage of those tasks. I think in just a little bit of time, you'll still have access to them a lot faster than somebody who's having to grind out just items constantly. Hey everybody, just real quick in post-editing, I just wanted to make it very clear because I've kind of thought about it, had a little time, and I'm pretty sure that this is just strictly better than Fire Sale. It still gives you all the same benefits, but you're also getting magic and prayer kind of solved. And in addition to that, I actually like this a little bit more because it's a little bit slower in the early game, but you have to put a little bit of thought into like what kind of items you're getting and kind of building that cash stack instead of just getting infinite cash to start with. So I personally think it's almost strictly better than Fire Sale, with a little bit like not quite as strong early game, but a very, very cool relic that still fits that same theme while also offering benefits to 2 other skills. I also think that the noted effect is really cool too, and I'm glad that's coming back. That was something that I really liked from the Fire Sale relic, being able to just buy like hundreds or thousands of an item if you wanted to from a shop, because remember that shops kind of restock every single time you purchase. They kind of restock back up. This will allow you to buy, maybe you're going to Varlamore and you can go to the armor store there, buy a bunch of plate bodies, and then let's say you have the desert, you can take those over to the desert too and use them for Giant's Foundry. Just things like that that make it a lot easier to buy a large amount of items without having to constantly run back and forth, which can get pretty annoying. As always with relic reveals, nothing is in a vacuum. We don't know what this relic will be up against, but I kind of have an idea that this is going to be a pretty early game relic that's going to be against a couple other quality of life options. Remember last year we had Fire Sale versus Banker's Note, and that got a lot of attention and a lot of discussion, and I'm hoping that this might have that same level of discussion when we find out what it's up against. So let me know what you think about this relic. Again, I was really underwhelmed with it at first, but it's really starting to grow on me, and I actually really like it as an early money solver. And I think the bonuses to Magic and Prayer cannot be undersold because, I mean, man, passively alching all your items, like that just sounds really damn cool. That's a really cool thing. I almost kind of want to have it just to try it out. Trickster boots, those guys were kind of seen as kind of lame at first, and then everybody realized just passively getting all your agility up is awesome. And I feel like having your gold and money just slowly accumulate and build, like, man, that sounds pretty cool. So definitely a fan of this one. Again, have to see what it's up against. So, no clue yet whether I'm picking it. But I am definitely looking forward to seeing some more reveals coming up soon. And as you can see, we've got like 2 weeks more, so there's a lot to still cover. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about Golden God, and I will see you all tomorrow for the next video. Bye.